everyone, this is Beth Castellini with Lizzie Stamps, and today I'm here to show you another Christmas card in July. This is a great way to use up scraps. It gives a really great effect and it's really fun to do. We are using today, the paper that I have it came out last year, but it is coming back, which I'm so excited about. And this is the Winter Meadows 12 by 12 designer series paper. And it's really pretty. The colors are basic black, blueberry bushel, garden green, lost lagoon, misty moonlight, moody mauve, pebble path, pretty peacock, shaded spruce, and smoky slate. It had the Wintry Meadows stamp set that retired, but this paper is still beautiful. It's just this watercolor wash with these beautiful images of just a winter garden. So I had a lot of scraps left over from prior cards, and I said, you know what, I think I would love to make something that would be so pretty. And I was looking online and I saw someone who did something similar with different paper, and I said, oh, this will be perfect. I'm going to show you how I made this quick card. I'm going to open it up for you, but look how cute it is. So you're not wasting any of the paper. So the first thing that you will need is when I'm making these white cards, I like to use the thick basic white cardstock. So if I'm having white as the card base, this is the card base cardstock that I like to use for the card bases. So I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to fold at the score line and then burnish with my bone folder. So now it's nice, laid and flat. I really do love our thick cardstock. Then what I did is I took a piece of 8 1/2 by 11 of basic white cardstock, cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I used, this is a set, a bundle actually. It's not being sold as a bundle, but it's coming back. But it's the Merriest trees stamp set and the dies. So I used the largest die tree and I ran it through the cut and emboss machine, and then you will have this left over, and that's what we're using for this inside. So I took that, and then I took our Snowfall Sky 3D embossing folder and I ran it through the stamp and cut and emboss machine, just like this, ran it through, and then you have this beautiful embossed layer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the card base right here. I'm going to lay my piece across like this, and I'm going to take a pencil. Now there's several ways that you can do this. As I had my card class last week, and I had a customer say, well, couldn't you add the strips this way? So one of the ways is that she had suggested just laying the strips across this way. So for me, I think that's a great idea, but then I can't see exactly what I'm laying down, if that makes sense. So I like to do it this way because you're not going to see the pencil line. So what I'm just laying the layer up on top of the card base. And now what I'm going to do is just take a pencil and lightly trace the tree all the way around. That way I have a guide for the tree when I'm laying down my strips of the designer series paper. And it doesn't take that long to do because you don't necessarily have to make an imprint on the card base. You just want to go ahead and just get that. So for a visual, I already cut out various sizes of strips, and they're about 4 inches across. I'm going to put this to the side. but they're about 4 inches across, and I'm going to use either side. So you'll notice that the patterns I've picked out, I have this one, and that's the backing. I've got this one and with the backing. So there's, and I can just, let me see what else I've got. I've got some of the berry, this one. So you can pick out, or what I like to do is I just sort of like hunt and peck is how I call it. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. I am going to be using my Tombow glue because it's easy to put together. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with a wider piece. Now my pieces vary from 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, and maybe 7/8 of an inch. But I really didn't go over 1/2 of an inch. And if I'm starting at the beginning, I can use a small piece like this. So we're going to go ahead and just get started. And I just went ahead, and there's no right way to do this. You just want to make sure that you cover the tree. So I've got a pattern piece here. So I think I'd like to use a thinner piece, and maybe I can cut this in half, or I can cut it, because you really just want to make sure you cover that pencil line. So this is why I find it easier to do it this way and glue the pieces onto the card base. All right, so then I want to use a piece. Let's see if I've got some more. This is, I like this right here. So I'm just going to cut it down a little bit because I really don't need all of it, but I do like that right there. And then I want to find a berry piece with the Moody Mauve color in it. So I'm going to just look and see if I can find one. Well, here's one right here. So, and that one will go straight across. So let's use that little piece there. And I like that you can use the paper is so subtle that you can just use the subtle pieces. Let's see. Now I need, oh, how about this one? Like that. So just go ahead and do that. So sometimes you've got these little strips left over, and most of the time they get thrown away. But why not be able to use this? How about using this deep blue? We'll use that. That you can take these scraps now. And there's several ways that I've seen people use like scraps of paper before, but I really love this, that it goes over a die cut shape. So I just think that's really fun. Now we're ready to layer this on top. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I think it's really pretty. I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of the layer piece. And I've got some dimensionals right here. And I'm actually, you know what I'm going to use? We have adhesive strips. I don't know if you've ever seen our adhesive strips before, but I don't use these enough. So these are our foam adhesive strips, and you can cut them to size. And this actually will give the card, since I am just using regular basic white, that it'll add stability to the card. So we're going to just go ahead and adhere a strip there. We also have foam sheets as well that you could use. Then I'm going to add a piece right here and get in one more strip. There we go. And we'll just add that adhesive strip right here. And then you have one more that we will add right here and just cut off that little edge there. Perfect. So now we've added stability. You could add a little bit more of the adhesive strip right here and right here if you want to, just to give it some more stability. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So I can add some here. So instead of using up all those dimensionals, you can just use these adhesive strips. Perfect. Okay. Very easy peasy. All right. So then I'm just going to go ahead and peel off the backings. Very simple. Here we go. I do like that we have a variety of adhesives. So we have our Stampin' Seal, our liquid glue, we have also our dimensionals, we have our adhesive strips, we have our foam sheets. So there is quite a variety of adhesives that we offer. Okay, so here we go. And I'm just gonna lay this right on top. Voila. So you'll see that you've got quite a layer, but that's okay. But it's so pretty. Okay, I love that. Now, I'm going to get the iridescent ribbon to add to the card. And this is a 1/2 inch and it has 10 yards. I use quite a bit. Fun fact is that when I have my spools of ribbon in my ribbon drawer, I use a push pin to put in so it stays in there and doesn't unravel. So just a fun fact. I'm going to be a cheater right now. And I'm going to use, I have had this for probably, oh gosh, more than 10 years. But this is just, I forget who I got it from, but this is a ribbon maker. And especially when you're using our ribbons, this is just perfect. So I just take, and if you haven't seen this ribbon before, look at it. It's so beautiful. That's iridescent. So you can use it for any card. So I'm going to go ahead and use my cheater bow maker. And it doesn't take long at all. I cut the tail off. So here we go. So it's already made. I'm going to trim off the tails just a little bit. I think that that's okay. All right, so that's our little cheating. And I have a little bit left. I've used this. It lasts a really long time. 10 yards really goes a long way. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to add our ribbon to the top of the tree. How many of you, I know I am a big bow person and I love having a big bow at the top of my tree. Lots of people have angels or Santas or I don't know. I tend to just like bows and ribbon all over my tree. So that's what I like to use. So that I thought, well, why not have a bow at the top of this tree? Okay, perfect. So now for the inside, we are going to use a piece. This is a piece from the Winter Meadow 12 by 12 DSP. Here's the back. It's just a smoky slate wash. But then on the front, look at the rolling hill. It's just beautiful with the watercolor. Rolling hills of trees, just very snowy. It makes me think it's so cold because it's so hot here in Georgia right now. So it's nice to make some cards for the holidays when it's just so hot outside. Okay, so this is going to be my layer, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. I don't know if I said that. And then we are going to take our extra piece right here, and we are going to stamp from the stamp set, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." So I already have it on my block, and I'm going to use one of the colors, and it's a brighter color. It's Blueberry Bushel. I really like this color, and I really don't use it enough, so I thought, why not? So I'm going to go ahead and notice that it's like in a cone image, so we're just going to go ahead and stamp that there, and then you can write your name there. I think that's just so great. Okay, this is just going to be glued in. Perfect. Really simple. I think this is just an easy card. They're easy to mass produce, especially if you have lots and lots of scraps laying around. And then the other thing that's coming back, and I really didn't use this at all, but this is the Adhesive backed snowflake assortment. There are 3 sizes, and there is copper, gold, and white. So we are going to use the gold, and these are big enough, but you can use your take your pick tool if you want to, just to pull up the gold, or you could use white as well, but I used gold. I thought the gold is cute. There we go. So I do love the assortment pack of these. So you have small, medium, and large. It's perfect, and you get 90 of them in a pack. So those are available as well. All right, so there we go. So there's the card, but one more thing, you never ever want to forget to stamp your envelope. So we're going to use this cluster right here of stars, and from the stamp set, Merriest Trees, and we are going to just put it with the blueberry bushel and just stamp on the back. There we go. Perfect. Really fun card, really easy to do, really easy to put together, and a great way to use up your scraps. So see, you can tell I sort of went a little bit straighter on this one, but this one more diagonal. You could do it the other way as well. So, but I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope you give this a try. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube and also on Instagram and Facebook. So I hope you really enjoyed this card as much as I did, and happy stamping!